Alright, what's up everybody? So I'm gonna get right into it. I've always been a Zangief hater. I've been a Zangief hater since as long as I've known Zangief, or at least I found out that Zangief just had SPD and like the double German suplex thing. Just been a hater ever since then. But let's go ahead, watch this out. Yeah, I've already seen it, so I'm just reacting to it. Boom. Graphics look beautiful. First things first. Atomic drop. Trash. No wrestlers haven't used an atomic drop since the 80s, and I think the last wrestler to use it was Ric Flair at a WrestleMania match or maybe some Monday Night Raw in 2007. I don't know. Atomic drop is trash. No one does that. Who's at Capcom that hates wrestling so much and they're so old that the only wrestling move they know is atomic drop? Trash. It's not good. Double lariat. That's pretty cool, but it's not Zangief doing it. He's getting jumped by two other guys who are actually just as tall as Zangief, which is weird because Zangief is a giant. Even among the giants, he's very giant. Uh, Two people being the same height as him, it's kind of crazy. Yeah, hit my boy so hard, mask fell off. He was never a mask wrestler. Another grief. That's not a lariat. I know you guys been calling this spinning helicopter arm propeller thing a lariat. If you're a wrestling fan, this is not a lariat. I've never seen a wrestler do this. They may have done it somewhere, but this is not a professional wrestling move in any way. I've never seen someone throw their arms out and spin in a circle and then call it a lariat. That's not a lariat. They may have named it lariat, but somebody at Capcom doesn't like wrestling. They don't know what wrestling is, and I don't know. Back in the Street Fighter 2 days, they named this lariat. It's never been a lariat, and it never will be a lariat. It's some helicopter propeller. I have no idea why you call this lariat. Another thing, Zangief looks more realistic in this game compared to his other renditions. So in his other renditions, like Street Fighter 5, his proportions seemed good in Street Fighter 5 for how big he was, because he was massive and he was like bulging muscle in places where muscles don't even exist, and he was just bulging and his arms were really long. Now, let's see if we get a better image. Now Zangief is more like a looks more like a world like a strong man, like a world's strongest man, and it also looks like he doesn't hit any juice. He may or he just maybe this big from naturally, but he's like big, he's wide. If you ever look at strongman competitions, they're always big, they're always wide. They have very wide grips. They're not very cut. There's not a lot of muscle cuts in them. There are some cuts, but there's very different from bodybuilders and strongmen. And Zangief is very much more strongman, and it may look awkward. And I think that's what kind of looks weird about his body is how small his hands are now. Even though his hands are still massive, but compared to his torso, his arms seem kind of short and his hands kind of small. And it might be another thing that's because of how big his forearms are. Forearms are not as big as triceps, so we can see his forearm and his bicep tricep are probably like 2 millimeters, like 5 millimeters away from each other in diameter. So that's probably what makes his arms look so. There's something just strange on the eyes about his arms, and I'm pretty sure is how massive his forearm. This is most people's bicep tricep. This is Zangief's forearm, which is fine. It's Zangief. He can be as muscly as he wants. He's all about his body. And then boom, triple chop. Love that. That's wrestling. Okay, but that's also like old school wrestling, bro. I don't know how often I see chops anymore. I'm not mad at the chop. I still appreciate the chop. Um, that's like the first thing you think about wrestling. Chops. Chops is one of the things you think about, and that's exactly what they think about at Capcom, and that's why Zangief has chops. Now, I think stomping on a standing opponent is dumb. Wrestling, there are stomps, but I've never seen someone stomp against a standing opponent. Normally, they're on the ground and they'll catch a few stomps. I've seen people step on toes for a counter hit, But as big as Zangief is and as much muscle as he has, this just kind of looks ridiculous to me to have a man this big stepping on your toes. Wonder you're fighting Cammy, and you got big 7 foot, 400 pound Zangief, 90% muscle, and he's stepping on her toes. I, like Zangief's big, man. Do some other wrestling strike. That's not a good one. Anything else? Boom, body slam, elbow drop. Love it. Body slam and an elbow drop. Beautiful. That that's the only thing. And another thing, why is it that Capcom only knows the basics of wrestling? Zangief has had SPD his whole life. They brought back the double German suplex, and his new throw is a high angle body slam into an elbow drop combination or follow up, whatever you want to call it. Why is my man just a regular body drop? Like he could have, this could have been like a throw off a wall. Like look how big Zangief is, man. You think the muscles is for show? No, throw Ganryu's big ass off that wall into your faulty lariat combo, or maybe a new air throw, or maybe a grapple catch. I don't know. Maybe you have a new anti-air grapple for catching a wall bounce or something. I don't know. He's Zangief. Maybe he could have had an Oklahoma Stampede. Maybe he could have ran to the corner, or like a front power slam. I don't know. I don't know. It's just a lot of moves. A nice gorilla press, like some Goldberg inspired strongman moves. Maybe uh like the gorilla press into, what is it called? Gorilla press into. This ain't even full screen. I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all been watching this outside of full screen. But the gorilla press into the front power slam. But no, we got a high angle body slam. Somebody is very basic. Mongolian chop. I do like the Mongolian chop. It's I don't know how many wrestlers have used this move. Not a lot of them. But Mongolian chop, beautiful. I'll give it Zangief a W on that. SPD. That's basic Zangief. That's all right. Okay. German too late throw, as I think what it's called. He has a drop kick now, which goes into the rolling stun, which then takes our boy, I was gonna call him Ganryu, which I don't even know, from a Tekken player. Oh my gosh, E Honda, which E Honda gets the wall stun, big drop kick from Zangief. Now in wrestling, drop kicks are usually for lightweights, cruiserweights, and then some athletic heavyweights. Zangief is a super heavyweight, probably a ultra heavyweight, but let's just put him in super heavyweight. Super heavyweights don't do drop kicks, but people who know basic wrestling know drop kicks. They know chops. They know a body slam. They know a suplex, and if they know anything extravagant, it's probably the German suplex. And then everyone knows the power bomb. So just give him a drop kick. That's fine. Big Geef drop kick. That's still not a lariat. That's trash. Now Capcom. Look at this. Look at this. Can I? Hold on. Is there a way to like slow this down? Yes, there is a way to slow this down. Where's this playback speed? Why in the world, as big as Zangief is, he gets a hold of your leg? Big Geef, big 450 pounds, 7'2" Geef, catches your leg. He's a wrestler. Why does he? Why does he do a dragon screw? There's so many things he can do here. He can pick Ganryu up for a giant swing counter. That would have been beautiful. I'd have loved to see catch that leg, giant swing. It looks cooler. More people would want to catch this counter if Zangief took that leg and turned it into a giant swing. If he took the leg, turned it into a capture suplex. If he took the leg and swung my man E Honda around like Murdoch does and threw him off the wall for an extension, you know how cool that would be. If Zangief had, like, I don't know, maybe a submission hold from here, he could do like a Brock lock. I don't know. Maybe he'll turn it into a single leg Boston Crab. He could turn it into a STF. Maybe if he was cool, He'd take that leg, spin him around, and hit him with a Stone Cold Stunner. You know what I'm saying? It's just so many things that he could have did here, but somebody at Capcom is 90 years old, and Dragon Screw is the first thing that came to their head. So that's what we got. A Dragon Screw, a double Dragon Screw. I'm sorry, double Dragon Screw. They were a little extravagant with it. It wasn't a regular. It was a double Dragon Screw. Get this boy back in normal speed. Alright, Air SPD or Spinning Tombstone, more like, instead of SPD. That's cool. Boop, boop, boop. Now, this is cool. This is apparently his level 2, according to the website, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. But, this is actually pretty cool, though. The Jackhammer. Ah! I wish he had more Goldberg-inspired moves. Let's give him a spear. I don't know. He has a Jackhammer. Maybe he could have, like, more Brock Lesnar-inspired moves. More just big man inspired moves. Dragon Screw, drop kick. Those are not big man inspired. German suplex. That's not big man inspired. Those are usually for the more agile and heavy and technical heavyweight wrestlers. Zangief. He can be technical. I'll give him. He's a technical big man. Look at all the muscles. I'll give him that. German suplex is always cool. He's fine. Um, but hey, that's what it is. Lariat, that's cool. Taunt, cool. Toe kick, and trash. Alright, so let me explain this to you because I know you're probably upset right now. So why I said this was trash is because you know what Zangief does? He gets in and he hits you with SPD. You know what Zangief does when he gets level 3? Let me show you what he does when he gets in and he gets level 3. Hold on, hold on. Alright, hits you with a lariat, an actual lariat, right? Little taunt for the crowd, little toe kick, and SPD. So Zangief has SPD normal. He has EX SPD. He has basically, well, I won't give the air SPD because each wrestling move is different. So, and then he has level 3 SPD. And you know what's so bad about this SPD? The coolest part of this special. Boom. This, the taunt, the toe kick. That's it. That's the coolest part. The setup for the SPD is the coolest part of the special. Then it just goes back to what you've always known Zangief to do. What? His one move. How many wrestlers you know do suplex for a regular move, and then their finishing move is also suplex? That's right. None. No, you never seen Stone Cold do a mini stunner. You never seen The Rock do a mini rock bottom. You never seen Kane do little choke slam. You've never seen Undertaker do half a tombstone. It Bro, it's just another SPD. There's literally zero creativity into this. There's nothing. The Capcom, they put a lot into the graphics. It looks good. SPD always looks devastating, but it's still SPD. Like there's so many wrestling moves that Zangief he could have did Muscle Buster. I don't know. He could have did something, but it's the same SPD. You gotta imagine this. They are inside of the think room or whatever it is. They're planning out. They're like, what should Zangief's level 3 be? Uh, I think we should just go with the classic and give him the double SPD. Just have him bouncing around. SPD bounce, SPD bounce, boom, bigger SPD. I think we should just have a really high SPD. Let's have him jump in the sky and hit it from a higher altitude. And then the other guy, yeah, SPD is really good, but what if we don't do SPD? And you know what they did to that guy? They threw him out the window. And then this is what we got. We got a lariat, taunt, toe kick, and an SPD for a level 3. It's the same SPD we always see. It's much better than his Street Fighter 5. Than his Street Fighter 5 Ultra or Super or whatever you call it. It's 900. It's infinitely better. Infinitely better than his Street Fighter 5 rendition of a Super. I don't know who thought a backdrop suplex would be a good idea, but they should have been fired. And anybody who animated that and didn't talk crap secretly about it should have also been fired. Anyone who agreed and okayed or green-lighted that finisher should have also been fired. Um, this is infinitely better than that, but it's also still not great. So imagine you have a number that's so infinitely small that you don't even care to really look to see how small it is. And then you multiply that to be infinitely better. Listen, skip all that math. I did some bad math there. Either way, it's trash.
My beautiful body is built
Overall, Zangief does look great. He looks great. I think his arm length and his and his hands, his hand to forearm. There's something weird going on there. There's something weird going on there. But overall, he looks good. Looks more realistic. Compared to like to a person. I just wish some of his wrestling moves were different, or if he had more wrestling moves, because I'm a wrestling fan, as you can probably tell from this video. And that's it. I just wanted to talk a little bit of trash about Zangief because I don't like Geef, and I'm a Tekken player. Thank you.